Assalamu alaikum. Today we will discuss mainly about the pouch of Douglas, also known as the rectouterine pouch, and it is mainly present, or mainly it is only present in the females, and as it is indicated by the name, the recto means the rectum, and uterine means the uterus. Here we have the rectum, that is posteriorly, and here we have the uterus. Now I will highlight it. Here we have the rectum, and this is the uterus. So the space between the rectum and the uterus is called rectouterine space. What is this space is called? This space is called rectouterine space, the space which is present between the rectum and the uterus. Here we have the uterus, and here we have the rectum. The space between the uterus and the rectum is called rectouterine space, and here we have the bladder, and here we have the uterus. And the space between the bladder and the uterus is called vasicouterine space. What is this space is called? This space is called vasicouterine space. What is vasicouterine space? The space which is present between the vesicle means bladder, and the uterus. The space between the uterus and the bladder is called vasicouterine space. So the space which is present above the vesicle, above the bladder, is called supravesicular space. Now here we have discussed the female section. Now we will discuss here the male section. As we know that there is no uterus in the male, so there are only the two spaces. The space above the bladder is called supravesical space. Here we have the bladder, and the space above the bladder is called supravesical space, and the space between bladder and rectum is called rectovesicular space. What is rectovesicular space? The space present between the rectum and the bladder. But in case of female, there is present uterus in between the bladder and the rectum. So here we have the rectouterine space and vasicouterine space. But in case of male, there is no uterus, so the space between the bladder and the rectum is called rectovesical space, and the supravesical space is common because it is present above the bladder. So I hope you understand the main point about the pouch of Douglas, which is very important, and the some of the terms such as the rectouterine space, the space present between the rectum and the uterus, and the vasicouterine space, the space present between the bladder and the rectum, and the supravesical space, the space present above the bladder. And here in case of male, there is no uterus, so here we have only the two spaces: the rectovesical space, the space present between the bladder and the rectum, and the supravesical space, the space present above the bladder. So the supravesical space is common both male and female, but the rectouterine space is only present in the female. So I hope you understand the basic concept, and if you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section. Please like my video, subscribe my channel, and press the bell icon so that you can get the latest notifications and update. Thank you.